Hi guys, and welcome back to the Player YouTube channel. And today we're going to be taking a look at the new Kia Sportage. And for those of you who don't know Kia, which there can't be many of you because it's such a well-known brand these days, you'd be pleasantly surprised to know that in 1944 Kia started out as a bicycle parts manufacturer. Just goes to show, a few years later, they're now producing a car that is vying for the #1 spot against the Nissan Qashqai in the small SUV market. Let's take a look around the car and see what we think value for money and whether it's something that you might be interested in buying. Round at the front of the 4th generation Kia Sportage, it's got some striking looks. I love this new front grille that they've put on. In actual fact, Kia called this the Tiger Smile, but I don't think it's got any relationship to a tiger, trust me. I'm loving these LED sweeping lights. They're very reminiscent of a Porsche Macan, but I love them. They're superb. The whole look of this front is stunning. The car itself, well, this one is the 2-litre diesel and it develops around 180 brake, but the 1.6 petrol engine, which I think is going to be probably the market leader in this type of car, it develops around about 172, so there's not a lot between them. So really I'd be looking at the petrol engine for sure. It's good looking, it's got a great engine. Let's go and check around the back, see if there's plenty of room to put all your bits and bobbies in. Round at the back, well, the good looks continue. It's got a electronically assisted tail lift, which is rather nice for those lazy days. Parcel shelf, we'll talk about that in a second, but the first thing you're going to notice, there is no lip on the edge here. It's completely flat, which is super. It's really nice. And you've got these sort of fake aluminium scuff guards, but they are better than the black scratchy plastic, so they're not going to scratch as much. But this is what I love about Kia. They take notice of the consumer, and one of the things the consumers have always spoken about is what the hell you do with a parcel shelf. Well, Kia, well done, because what you've done is this, which I think is amazing. You lift this up here and you take this little plastic thing out here and put it upside down, and this little plastic thing here and put it upside down. Then take your parcel shelf, which is nice and easy, put it inside here. Well, when I can get it in. Oh, there we go. It goes in there lovely and flat. Then pull your flap back over like that. Parcel shelf gone. Manufacturers, take note. This is how you do it. Fantastic. Now, there aren't any 12-volt adapters in the back, and there aren't any handles for you to put these seats down. So the only way to get the seats down, you have to open the door and unfortunately manually do them from inside. So you've got a 60-40 split on this one. You've got tons and tons of space in this car. It's absolutely huge. Let's jump in the back and see whether there's enough room for the passenger. In the back here, well, before I've even climbed in, a couple of things I should mention. First of all, each of your passengers in the back gets a heated seat, which is highly unusual and normally only found on the more expensive cars. Kia have actually added a large water bottle holder as well. It wasn't on the previous version of this one, so that's another good point as well. Something else that they've got is a fully reclinable seat. Look at that, isn't that lovely? Let's jump in, take a look at it. So, oh my God, how lovely and comfortable is that? So I pull the door shut. It's a proper nice space, this. Centre bit here. Yep, typical armrest, a couple of cup holders, nothing to write home about there. You've got isofix points either side, none on the middle one. Got independent heating on the rear, but you can't adjust the temperature. That still has to be done by the passenger or the driver. But we do have 12-volt down here and a USB fast charger on the left as well. I mean, this is a stunning place to be with this massive panoramic roof and the comfort level. I could quite easily, guys, check it out. You could go to sleep here. It's very nice indeed. Yeah, I'll catch up with you in a minute. So, when you get up front in the Kia Sportage, the first thing you notice is a lovely big 8-inch screen. The car, as you would expect, is keyless, so let's fire her up, foot on the brake there. We've got a nice big screen, it'll come up with the map on it and everything. Very intuitive this, we'll talk about that in a second. Let's work our way down a little bit. So we've got the buttons here are so easy to use. All of this is very simple and easy to navigate when you're working your way across. So once you've got used to where things are, it's just simple touch. Love it, really nice. Below that we've got our heating control panel here. So we've got independent heating, as you would expect, aircon. But then this is where it gets really good. Just below here we've got air-cooled and heated seats, as well as a heated steering wheel. Essential during the winter when you live in the UK. Below that there is, on this particular model, a wireless Apple charger, and if you haven't got an Apple and an Android, it will mirror the Android as well. And you've got 12 volt either side for charging and a USB in the middle, so you'll have to use your wires, unfortunately. 8-speed gearbox, talk about that when we get out on the road. Then we've got a couple of different options here. There's 2 modes on this car. You've got sport mode and normal mode. Very simple button here, drive mode, sport or normal. Below that is a diff lock, so this is an all-wheel drive car. You put it in the diff lock and that will really help when it gets very, very slippery. And below that there's a hill descent control system as well. Again, these are all things that normally you would find on a car costing well in excess of £60,000-70,000. And I think Kia have just nailed it, and that's why it's just going through the roof when it comes to sales. On the steering wheel, well, we've got on the right here, it's quite easy to set up. You've got the mode button here, which will bring up all your different modes up here, and you can swap through that and scroll them backwards and forwards using these little knurl buttons either side. You can set your cruise control and also your distance control when you're in the autonomous driving mode. Let's get this car out on the road because it is begging for us to give you a road test on it. And yeah, I can't wait. Let's see what it goes like. So just before we get out on the road, imagine the scenario. You've dropped the kids off at their sporting activity on a Saturday afternoon, and you're feeling it's that time just to have a little lie back and a relax, because 1, in this car you do get a JBL sound system, but 2, you get a seat like this, which is absolutely beyond belief, because when I push this right to its furthest back it can go, if I brought a pillow with me, this would be one of the most comfortable seats. You could actually have a sleep here. We'll get it out on the road in a sec. The first thing you're going to notice when you get out on the road in the Kia Sportage is how roomy, how airy, how bright it feels with this massive panoramic roof giving you loads and loads of light coming in here. Huge big windscreen as well. It's a superb windscreen, really wide, lovely depth as well. The car itself, well, it's not going to light any bonfires when it comes to speed and acceleration, but what do you expect? This is a family SUV. 0 to 60 is around 9.2 seconds and the top speed is around 125 mile an hour, but that's still no slouch. In the sport mode it really does, especially on the paddles. You can have a lot of fun with this, and don't be surprised if it shocks you a little bit as well with its, with its off the mark. Safety systems, well, we've got blind spot mirrors, we've got lane departure warning system, we've got high beam assist on the lighting as well. There's distance control. It's just rammed packed full of everything. And I've said it over and over again, it's something that you sort of expect from a very high-end car that's costing sort of £50,000-60,000 plus. Well, let's talk price. This car from £20,650. Yes, I did say £20,650. That's such a good bargain price. I mean, it will go right up to about £35,000 top of the range, but as a base point price, around £220 a month on lease. That's not a bad thing to take a look at when you also get with this a 7-year 100,000 mile warranty. It just all stacks up in the plus points in the range that you want it to. It's just amazing, to be honest with you. I've got one bugbear about the whole car. I haven't found anything that I don't like about this car and that I wouldn't recommend about this car, except for one thing: the fuel consumption. Kia tell me this car should be doing 49 to the gallon. Now, I expect a 2 litre diesel perhaps to do a little less than that. But in this case, we have done 368 miles and I am currently getting 31.2 to the gallon. That's not acceptable. I'm just really a little bit disturbed about that. I thought it would have been a lot more. Apart from that, well, it's a supercar. We've gone all over it. I've told you my feelings on it. I think it's a stunning car, but the 1.6 petrol is probably where my money would be. And I suggest you take a look at both cars, because there isn't a lot of difference between the two when it comes to the actual engine power. You've been watching me, AJ, the player, and I really thank you for watching. Don't forget, like, subscribe, comment, even if some of your comments are a little near the mark. However, I do like those comments because I like to reply to them. Another car next week, guys, fingers crossed. I look forward to doing as many more reviews as you guys will allow me to. There's over 150 on the YouTube site now. Don't forget, whiz over there, have a look. Thanks for watching. Catch you next week.